is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info,
time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
for 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, prices. What does the market dictate? What's the price for a good edge rusher? What's the price for a good receiver? It's whatever you're willing to pay, and I imagine whatever they're willing to take. What will they pay, and what will they take? Good morning to you, boys and girls. It is now Thursday as we creep closer and closer to college football. A week from Saturday, so that would make you a week and 2 days away from the opener of Lobo football. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Glad you're with us on a Thursday morning. How you living?
What it do?
It do. I mean, how do you answer? What do you do? What it do? Like what's what's the real like breakdown? What's the right answer? It do I. Is that the right answer? So is that how you should respond? It do I.
It do I.
It's I.
I.
It's I. Like one word. It's I.
I.
I. I don't know what market price is, but whatever you set the market at is. You want a good edge rusher, and you're the Atlanta Falcons. It'll cost you a third-round pick to go get Matthew Judon. Okay. And then you got to pay him and what it's worth. The Falcons and Judon, so the Falcons sent a third-round pick to the Patriots. They get a good edge rusher, and they got to hammer out a contract for next year. And they'll figure that out. But he's good. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. What's the price for a wide receiver? And Cowboy fan, for me, this turns the story a little bit. Okay? Are we really haggling over $2 million? Now, if you and I are haggling over $2 million, that's a big deal, right? You're haggling over $2 million on a business. It's a big deal. And I think this still probably is a big deal. But Clarence E. Hill Jr., who covers the Cowboys for the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, JJ reported yesterday that the Cowboys have offered CeeDee Lamb a contract that averages out to $33 million a year. That would put him right near the top of the market, would it not?
It would be on average value number 2.
Okay. Behind Jamar Chase? No, Jamar Chase wants is behind Tyreek Hill. Correct?
Justin Jefferson.
All right, fine.
$35 million.
All right. Is he better than Justin Jefferson?
He's right there.
Okay. So was number 2 puts you right there.
Very, very misleading story that was planted by the Dallas Cowboys.
All right. Tell me why.
Because it's not about if you're making $35 or $33 million.
It's about the guaranteed money?
It's about, are you getting guaranteed money like Justin Jefferson,
Right.
which was $110 million guaranteed?
And I don't
Or
see that. Is that in this
it
report?
Amon-Ra St. Brown, that was $77 million guaranteed.
Right. Is that number in
No.
this report?
It's just the annual number.
Okay. Quote Jerry Jones in this story. We're conscientiously working to get something done. We obviously do this because of how bad we want to be together. I know he wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. We want him to be a Dallas Cowboy, so I don't flare too much when we see something that might be taken the wrong way. Now, I appreciate CeeDee Lamb the way he's handled it. This isn't Brandon Ayuk, right? There's not a lot of noise every day. Trade me, pay me, trade me, pay. He's just, you know where he stands, and you don't need to hear the same thing every day. I get it. I'm never mad at a dude for wanting to get his money and wanting to get it when he thinks it's due. So on the surface, JJ, to me, $33 million a year average probably is where he should be in the market. But I'm with you on what it is guaranteed money. So you think the Cowboys and Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones fed this guy, hey, go put this out there to
100%.
make this look good. Okay, and maybe that's right.
Because all these contracts, it's nice when you can say, hey, I'm making X amount per year.
Right. But
It's about what is that guaranteed number going to be? You know, we've learned that's the difference maker, and that is a huge thing. And I think that's where CeeDee Lamb is sitting there, and I assume that's what would get this deal done because it makes CeeDee Lamb look bad.
This does.
This does, because people are like, shut up, dude. It's $2 million. You're going to be making $32 million per year, and this is the issue. You can't figure this out. This was a strategically planted thing by the Cowboys, which is fine, and people are going to jump on it and run. But in the reality, it comes down to, are they offering him Amon-Ra St. Brown guarantees or Justin Jefferson guarantees?
And explain what the two of those are.
So Justin Jefferson, yes, you can look at it and go, man, he's making $35 million per year, highest paid wide receiver per year. But no matter what, he signed that contract. There's guarantees of $88 million and practical guarantees of hitting benchmarks, being on rosters, etc., of $110 million in his contract of the $140 million.
So it's $88 million of $140
So $88 million.
What is it? 4 years or 3 years?
On his contract extension, which is a 4-year contract extension. And then you have someone like Amon-Ra St. Brown, another wide receiver that also signed this season a 4-year contract worth $120 million, and his is just $34 million guaranteed. So CeeDee Lamb, I think, is going to surpass Amon-Ra St. Brown, but that's what gets these deals done. Not the average annual value. It's what percentage of that contract do these guys get regardless. That's the name of the game.
Okay. And we don't know what that number is, right? What should his guarantee be? I mean, assuming we're going 4 years, average of $33 million. So what is that? 66 times 2 is 100 and whatever, 30 something $million, right? Right. 33 times 4 is $132 million. So it would come out, 4 years, $132 million. The guarantee, if Jefferson's 88 and Amon-Ra's 34, needs to be guaranteed in the $65 million.
You're pushing for 70s in this, because you look at some of the other players, like Calvin Ridley signed this offseason, got $46 million guaranteed of his $92 million deal. Yes, it's astronomical numbers. It's mind-numbing numbers. But this is when you're wondering how these things get done, why these things aren't done when you have a report like that come out. It's comes down to this part of the contract.
So this is in the story in the Fort Worth Star Telegram. It says Lamb is not necessarily asking for top Jefferson. Stephen Jones has acknowledged that much. He says, but in the story, but per a source, which is probably Stephen Jones, the Cowboys remain a few blocks away with their best offer, not yet at $33 million annually. So it's got to be just short of that. There's a process to get the deal done. As cash flow and structure are part of the process, work still must be done in all areas. But there is no one on the Cowboys who doesn't believe ground will be made up and Lamb will be back before the start of the end of the season. Yeah, I don't see anywhere in here where it's talking about guarantees. All right, so to me, it sounds like they're close. But to your point, it doesn't make CeeDee Lamb look good. I'll give him this, man. He ain't out there clapping. He ain't screaming. It's not.
He had one social media post.
LOL.
And he just kind of jumped on board what everyone else was doing, which was clowning Jerry Jones about the not being urgent to sign him.
He said
comment.
LOL.
Yeah.
When Jerry Jones said, "There's no why is there urgent because I ate at Nobu the other day."
It goes along with the trend of why people don't think the Cowboys are successful, pointing at Jerry Jones. It's an offseason where Minnesota realized, yeah, we don't need to mess around with Justin Jefferson. The Lions realizing, yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown is our guy, getting these things done. Now, Cincinnati is kind of stepping in that with Jamar Chase, but it opens up the door just for more blame, for more reasons things won't work. And it's, having an extended back and forth with the player there's zero questions of this guy being an impact maker on the field.
No, that's right. I don't think anybody's questioning that. This is flat out dollars and cents and how much is guaranteed and when, and that's it. All right, let's go today. 505-246-0610. That is the Sports Animals phone line. That is the Sports Animal text line. You can send emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. You can find us on the X, _JJ Buck. You can find us on the Facebook, the OD in the AM. In fact, you can watch the show there. Adrian produces there on ProView Networks, Comcast or Xfinity Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico, and on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. Guest list today, former big leaguer Ian Desmond's going to be with us at 8:30. He is going to be in town on Friday of next week. We are about 8 days away from Home Run Derby X, and we'll talk to him. We'll get his idea, get his thoughts on where the Rockies are going. And how and why and whatever, and why he's coming to town to get you a little excited about Home Run Derby X. We'll do that coming up at 8:30 this morning. When we get back, we got a lot of football to talk about. The J.J. McCarthy situation was decided and pretty quickly as far as how serious that injury is. So what do they do now in Minnesota? And what a bummer for that young man. And there's another wide receiver at the top of the market who wants to get paid and isn't practicing with his team. We'll get into that situation and what that all means as well and where that market goes and how that might even affect CeeDee Lamb and the Cowboys. 505-246-0610. Want to turn you on to the Albuquerque Convention Center as a place for events. And I know you think about it for big events and expos and galas, and they host events of all size. And if you are planning a party, maybe you're in charge of planning your holiday party for your company. We're getting close. I know it's 98 degrees outside, but start thinking about it because they book up. Think about the Albuquerque Convention Center right in downtown Albuquerque with unbelievable access from wherever you're coming from. The parking structure adjacent to the facility, right in the heart of downtown. They have 600,000 square feet of flexible indoor and outdoor meeting space. That means whatever your event is, whether it's a gala, a wedding reception, a holiday party, hell, your fantasy football draft, call them and talk to them about it. They've got insanely good staff, great food and beverage options that go above and beyond. Whatever your event is, it will be great and everybody will be happy. Be at the center of it all and get your information. Go online. It's all there at albuquerquecc.com. All your information is there, albuquerquecc.com, and then call and book and ask them whatever questions you have at 505-768-4575, 505-768-4575.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
And welcome to the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. So yesterday when we sat here, we didn't know. Now we do. JJ McCarthy, the first-round pick of the Minnesota Vikings, the quarterback out of Michigan who won a national championship, their quarterback of the future, is out for this season. He underwent surgery yesterday to repair a torn meniscus in his right knee. So that is leaving you right now with Sam Darnold, who probably was going to start the season anyway. Don't we agree with that? Don't you agree Sam Darnold was going to start the year?
I do.
Yeah, I do too. But he signed a one-year deal, and he was the gap guy to get you there. And then they got Nick Mullins and Jaron Hall. Jaron Hall's a former BYU guy. This is a tough one. Kevin O'Connell's their coach. He said he's confirmed everything that I hope to see early in training camp. He's talking about his quarterback, Sam Darnold. He says, but our fan base and everyone should just be excited about the fact that we've got our young franchise quarterback. Now he's talking about McCarthy in the building. And now it's about the unique aspect of continuing a very critical development process for him, or maybe the physical reps aren't going to be there in the short term. This is going to be a small bump in the road. Small bump in the road is tough, dude. I mean, a small bump in the road is tough. Now, he won't be forced into action if he's not ready, obviously. But how do you get better playing football? You play football. And he can't play football. This is a bummer. And then one of their number 2 receiver, Jordan Addison, went down to, I'm trying to find, here it is, injured ankle. So he won't play whenever he's out today. He's a big piece of what they do. Look, I don't know. Sam Darnold may end up being the surprise of the year. He could be something that everybody's, look, all these coaches, you and I have seen what we've seen with him playing football, but all these coaches who know football better than you and I seem to really like Sam Darnold. He keeps getting pretty decent jobs. So there's a part of me that says, I don't know, can they salvage this? And then there's another part of me that says, it's going to be a long year for them.
I do think they can salvage it. I think even with the thought process of J.J. McCarthy not playing to start the season, there was the ceiling, the hope of he got a little taste, and maybe it is something that can click early and he can take over and provide a spark, or at least get those reps in this year, to where you think year 2 that there's expectations on the board. Because I don't think it's going to be Anthony Richardson like hype, and I think a lot of that hype just comes from not necessarily Richardson is taking the Colts to another level, but it's just his athleticism and running the football. Where I think for the Vikings, looking at this now with Sam Darnold there, the names have been thrown around. It's Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, kind of looking for that kind of career resurgence
for Sam
Darnold this season. And I think that they will be a solid football team. But I think that still, whether it was J.J. McCarthy, maybe it drops a little bit. Their ceiling, there's just, they're not a competitor right now. And I think that's what's frustrating for the Vikings fans, of at least if at some point this season you got J.J. McCarthy in there, got him that reps, and then year 2, you can set those expectations that you're ready to go.
Because you're not far away from having some real success. You were the number 2 seed 2 years ago. This is what's happened to them recently. So T.J. Hawkinson is out. He's their tight end and one of the better tight ends in the league. He's recovering from a torn ACL and MCL in his right knee, and he may start the season on injured reserve. On Wednesday, Jordan Addison, their number 2 receiver and a really good one, suffered an ankle injury during joint practices with the Browns. The injury is initially not considered to be serious. I want you to remember J.J. McCarthy's injury initially was not considered to be serious also. Also, rookie cornerback Kyrie Jackson, you'll recall, was killed in a car accident July 6th. Their second-year cornerback, Mekhi Blackman, suffered a torn ACL on the first day of camp. And veteran cornerback Shaquille Griffin hasn't practiced since straining his hamstring on the second day of camp. That's basically your cornerback room. I mean, Kevin O'Connell's got to be looking around going, what the hell did I do to someone? Like, honestly, what did we do to piss off the football gods?
They want off this roller coaster ride right now.
That's a lot, dude. That's 3 corners that you were absolutely relying on. One passed away. One ACL, he's out for the year. And the other one strained his hamstring, and Lord knows how long he's out for. Man. I mean, okay, fine. Maybe you can convince yourself Sam Darnold can help you offensively. What are you defensively?
Questionable.
In a tough division, dude. Lions, Packers, Bears. The Vikings just took a hit. I don't know if they're 1-16 hit, but if I put your over-under at 4.5 wins right now, where are you going?
I think it's over.
Okay.
I think they're...
All right. I mean, we'll watch it. I don't know. They're going to have to get healthy, though. And we were talking about CeeDee Lamb. And there's the report in the Fort Worth Star-Telegram that the Cowboys have offered about $33 million a year, but the structure has not been detailed. There's another receiver at the top of the market, just like CeeDee Lamb, who wants to get paid. Bengals receiver Jamar Chase. He's not practicing. He won't play this weekend in the preseason game against the Bears. He did go to Chicago, though. There's an Instagram photo posted by the team. Their coach, Zach Taylor, continues to call Chase's situation day to day, even though he didn't show up for practice. Jamar Chase is top 3, top 4, top 2, top what?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's that tier of guys. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase.
Now, this is deceiving to me, too, because a lot of his money, just like most of these, you get down the last couple of years of a deal, and the average salary can go down, or the yearly salary can go down. He made a lot of money up front, relative money. He made there was no rookie money up front.
Well, it's a rookie contract.
Yeah, but so to say he's making $1.055 million this year, it's deceiving, because if you average out his contract, it's much more. But when you get down to this, right? But granted, $1 million a year for that dude is ridiculous. Bengals have exercised the $21.816 million fifth-year option. That's for next year. It's a 1,000-yard receiver in each of his first 3 years. He got there. They went to the Super Bowl. They say they're not going to pay him. They say, not this year. We're not paying you this year. And again, now, if he doesn't play, he got all that other money. You lose that on $1 million. This is a different deal than a guy walking away from 14. I can see a scenario where he misses time. I can see this is different to me than Brandon Ayuk. Okay? This is a guy in the 4th year of a 5th-year deal, or a 5-year deal, that he'll come back and play enough to get that year in. But his money's already in for this year. If he doesn't get the big contract, he's losing out on $1 million. He's already got his money, right?
And this is one where, again, however you feel about the Cowboys, like Jerry Jones will get that done. And there's a track record of those guys getting here. I don't have that same feeling with Cincinnati at all.
I'm telling you.
You saw it with T. Higgins, where they franchise tagged him. And so, T. Higgins getting nice guaranteed check this season, $21 million to play. But I think Cincinnati, what they've done is said, hey, we paid Joe Burrow. Like, that's what we're going to do. The rest of y'all, you can wait your turn, because they're not going to overextend themselves. But this is business. And if they want to stand on business, go for it. But this is also one that you say, man, when Burrow, Chase, and Higgins are on the field, you're a contender.
Yes, you are. And I can see a scenario where he misses some time. And it's a game of chicken now. You want to play or you don't want to play? Well, I'm not playing for $1 million. But that's your contract. This one I can see. Again, guy like Brandon Ayuk, are you walking away from $14 million? Probably not walking away from $14 million. But when you've made, whatever you've made, and you're walking away from $1 million to make a point.
Now with Cincinnati,
given
the fact in conversations and what we've watched, that we think Joe Burrow's that guy. That if you're picking someone to battle Patrick Mahomes, because he's won that battle before, Josh Allen, we think it's Burrow. And if you're the upper management in Cincinnati, of course, the team president has been very open about not negotiating, not paying these dudes right now. It's like you're on year 3 of what could be a 5-year deal. Have fun. I think a lot of it too is you look at, from that standpoint, is we have Joe Burrow, we're going to be fine.
Joe Burrow he's got T. Higgins, he's got guys to throw to, but man, this guy's different. This guy's special. All right, Jackson on what he calls the Vi-Queens. Jeff, I'm sure enjoying this after having to hear you and a former OD producer hype this bleep club endlessly 2 seasons ago. I thought they were good 2 seasons ago. In fact, weren't they good 2 seasons ago? Were they the 2 seed? No, they lost a home playoff game to the Giants. They were pretty damn good. All right, 505-246-0610. When we come back, it looks like the U.S. men's national soccer team has a head coach. It's interesting, and I'm hoping you can enlighten me a little more. And what does a draw with a struggling team do for New Mexico United last night out at the ball pitch? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. but it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans,
3-3 out at the ball pitch last night. New Mexico United and Tulsa FC. Tulsa came in, JJ, in all season long. They had scored 21 goals cumulatively all year. They scored 3 in the first half yesterday, had a 3-1 lead. Harry Swartz with a pair of tallies for New Mexico United. In the second half, they had one hit the crossbar late and a 3-3 draw for New Mexico United. 13 wins, 6 losses, 3 draws for United, who remain in first place at the top of the table in the USL Championship Western Conference. They'll be home for Monterey Bay on Saturday. I don't know how much of it you saw last night. Tulsa, it just opened up. Eric Quill, their head coach of New Mexico United, said it was the worst half New Mexico United has played since he's been the head coach. They came back, and there's 2 ways to look at it, right? There's a team that's lower in the table. You're at home. You're starting a 3 games in 7-day stretch. You have an opportunity here at home to get started against a club that you should be better than, and you walk out and you got to fight for a draw, or you look at it and say, damn, we're down 3-1 and came back and got a point.
I think it's the coming back to get a point, because to me, it solidifies that this team is a legit contender this season. Yeah, they played a bad stretch of soccer for like 5 minutes at the end of the first half, but they clicked it on, dominated the second half, get out with a point. So I take more out of that, of what we've seen throughout the season for New Mexico United, is that's who they are. And sometimes that's what happens in sport. But I also love about the thing that we do, and it's trying to figure out, get in the mind and what it's like as a player. And last night, they always say you never want to give up a goal early in a game, never want to fall behind. And then the talking point last night after the game was, well, we might have scored too soon.
Stop it.
It's like, we let our guard down. We scored too fast.
Well, look, I think in sports, and hell, I don't even want to say in sports, you do it in politics, you do it in life. You change the argument to fit whatever it is your point is, right? For whatever your point
we scored
is.
3 minutes in, and then we got complacent.
Just stop.
Like, well, they scored 2 goals in the final 5 minutes of the half.
Well, it's like the rhetoric that's been lately. Not only is New Mexico United at the top of the table, but they've got 2 games at hand over everybody else, right? That means they've played 2 less games. That means they have more opportunity for points. Now all of a sudden you're trying to make up those games. Well, we got 3 games in 7 days. Well, yeah, that's you have the games at hand, so now you have the opportunities, and sometimes you got to play weekday games. Like it is. However, it is you want to play the narrative. You do it in politics all the time. People do it all the time in life. I mean, it is. But you're right. You want to score early and get ahead, or you don't want to give up that goal. Well, we scored early and we got complacent. No, stop.
You got at the end of the first half, but you came out in the second half, played a really good game, and again, it just points to that this team, I do think, is the best iteration we've seen. They've already, with their comeback win on the road against Indy 11 over the weekend, matched their best win total for a season already. At this point, they're looking at hosting a home playoff game, making a deep run in the postseason. That's the next step for this franchise, because they've built it on Open Cup runs. And now that's what the fan base is hungry for.
Is a deep
USL playoff wins.
Yeah. All right, this is a big story, and I want you to kind of put it more into context than I can. The United States men's national team, with the World Cup coming up inside of 2 years now, and they fired Greg Burkhalter, the head coach, after Copa America, after they didn't get out of the group stage. The reports coming out this morning are they are hiring kind of a big name here, right? And when you look at Mauricio Pochettino, who is a big European soccer coach, former coach at Tottenham, PSG, what does this mean? Is this a pretty big deal?
So this checks a couple of the boxes. One, it wins the press conference because Pochettino is a known name just in the soccer world of the coaches that have kind of bounced around at the highest level. And that was a big thing of getting that buzz back, showing that someone with an international track record would be interested in this job, would start the hype train up again for the 2026 World Cup. And then that you could get someone with that type of experience interested in the job. I think Pochettino is a solid coach, and you look at the world of international soccer, the good coaches actually do bounce around a lot more than you think. Like, it is a quick trigger business.
Oh, he was in Chelsea for 1 year?
1 year.
Yeah.
And then was out. It's a very, very quick trigger business when it comes to moving on from managers. I think for the United States, they got what they did. They got a name, they got a headline, but then there's enough on the resume to say, hey, we have a guy that can come in and make a difference over the next couple of years, just trying to implement a style and building a belief in this core group of players, which there's
the greatest generation of U.S. soccer ever.
The greatest generation better show up in 2026.
Why does this guy want the job? Aside from money, and I don't know what they're paying him, why does he want the job? What does it do for him to come over here and coach this team?
It's when you're coaching an international team, it is a different time commitment because you're not
every day
in a season.
Yeah.
So I think that being an international coach is probably intriguing for these guys after grinding over and over and over, and then you're not, having games Saturday, Wednesday, cup fixtures, this, that. It's you kind of focus on your international competition, scouting the roster, who you're going to call up, things along those lines. And possibly, too, is if you could win at a high level with the U.S. national team, World Cup on your home soil, North American hosting it, that's a nice little feather in your cap.
That's huge.
Because the rest of the world thinks you can't do it.
All right, so this is a good hire then. I mean, you think most people are going to be fired up with this?
I do.
Okay. All right. Soccer fan, come on in. If you were at United last night, or your reaction to Mauricio Pochettino is the new head coach of the USA men's soccer team. And it's a relatively short turnaround. You could say, Jeff, it's 2 years away, but it's a relatively short turnaround, right? There's no major competition between now and World Cup.
There's not. And if you're the U.S., you need to find some friendlies. Maybe take the team on the road a little bit. Try to see if someone will welcome you in for a game, because you're going to have to go outside your comfort zone a little bit to see if you can test this team before the World Cup.
Yeah, you need to. All right, 505-246-0610. When we come back, I tell you all the time, champions aren't the best team, right? Sometimes they are, but you have playoffs in every sport, right? Were the Patriots the best team the year the Giants beat them on the David Tyree catch on the helmet? You can argue that. Does the best team always win the World Series or the Stanley Cup or the NBA championship? The best team in the regular season? Golf's got a playoff system, and the best player in the world is ripping that playoff system. What Scotty Scheffler has to say is the PGA FedEx Cup playoffs get started this weekend. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, refractive lens exchange. the latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We've seen in the NCAA tournament, number one seeds get beat by 16s, right? One seed doesn't always win. What do we have in the finals this year? Who played the finals this year? It was the Mavericks were like a 5 seed. I played the Celtics who are a 1 seed. The 1 seed doesn't always win. Happens all the time. Golf's or the PGA Tour, I say golf, PGA golf. Their playoffs are going to start, the FedEx Cup playoffs. It's a season-long points race. And what does guy win? $20 million, whoever wins the FedEx Cup? And Scotty Scheffler's running away. Right? He's by far been the best golfer all year. Now, he may not win the playoffs. And he's kind of bummed about this. He doesn't like the setup. Let me preface this, JJ. I like Scotty Scheffler. I think he gets it most of the time, but I think he's off on this one. And I'll kind of counteract what I just said. I think this system is hokey. Okay, I've told you this every year when we start out, and a guy starts out at 10 under, another guy starts out at 8 under, and I think the system's hokey. I don't know that they've got a better system, and I think the system has become popular and it's made money and it's been good for television. And by the way, it's making the players a trunk load of money. Is it hokey? Is it perfect? It's both of them. It's imperfect and it is hokey. But Scheffler says he's talked about the last few years. He says, I think it's silly. Quote from him. Let me give you the format. So the top 70 golfers in the FedEx Points. So all year long. So it's like any other sport, right? You go through the regular season and you get into the playoffs. Right? Top X number of teams in each division. So 70 out of however many golfers are out there, they earned enough points to get in. The top 50 are going to go to the second tournament. And then the Tour Championship will host the top 30. And then the leaderboard kicks off with this strokes-based system based on everyone's performances throughout the season. So in all likelihood, Scheffler's going to begin that tournament with a 2-stroke lead. He'll be 10 under par. But he says, one bad weekend could cost him. Quote, hypothetically, we get to East Lake and my neck flares up and it doesn't heal the way it did at the Players. I finished 30th in the FedEx because I had to withdraw from the last tournament. Is that really the season-long race? No, but it is what it is. It's a fun tournament. I don't really consider it the season-long race like I think the way it's called, but you got to figure out a way to strike a balance between it and being good TV product. And it's still being a season-long race. Right now, I don't know exactly how the ratings are or anything like that, but I know for a fact you can't really quite call it the season-long race when it comes down to one stroke play tournament at the same golf course each year, end quote. It's not any different than any other sport, is it? You have one bad game in the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes gets hurt and goes out, and then they could be 17-0. They lose, they're not the champions.
Well, does he think he should just be handed the giant check at the end of the year because he was good? It's the race to the FedEx Cup, not the race to the giant check.
Well, he's saying for the season long, I was the best season long.
Yeah, you play to get into the FedEx Cup. That's the format.
I think that's right, and I don't find this to be much different than any other sport. Now, maybe it hasn't always been this way, and Rory's on board with it too. But Rory said it's not the fairest reflection of who's been the best player of the year, but he says...
But it's an opportunity.
He says, I think at this point, we're not in for totally fair. We're in for entertainment and for trying to put on the best product. And then he said it's the only way any of us can catch him, which is right. So it's like any other sport. When the Patriots went 16-0 that year, should they have been crowned? I know there's plenty of people who are saying, yeah, damn right they should have been.
Here's my question. Before they did the FedEx Cup playoff, were they just handing out money?
I don't think there was a big
So what are they complaining
deal
about?
at the end of the year. That's what I'm saying.
They made this.
They manufactured this to make a boatload of money.
To make money and for golfers to make more money. And that's all that PGA Tour has done is the players is complain about that they don't make enough money.
Yeah.
So they're saying, hey, we're going to give the best of the season an opportunity to play for more money. And now it's a problem? Because they're just not handing you that. Like, they never build it
right
that way. It was, hey, get to the FedEx Cup and here's a new opportunity.
Here, should you be getting here's $20 million because you were the best all year? And I guess that's what he's saying. Like, I don't know that he's going to win the FedEx Cup or not. The odds are stacked in his favor. Now, he's right. If he gets hurt, he won't win. Kind of like, I don't know, if Serena got hurt in the quarterfinals at Wimbledon, she wouldn't win. Kind of like if Aaron Judge gets hurt, he's not going to play in the World Series. The Yankees' chance they're going to take a big hit. If Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady would get hurt in the playoffs, they don't win. The playoffs, which is basically what the FedEx Cup is, and they call it the FedEx Cup playoffs, is the culmination. You have to qualify all year to get in. You are seeded, and in this case, weighted tremendously because of your edge to win. And like, yeah, dude, you win the Masters, the Players, the Gold. You had a great year. You may or may not win this. My bet is he will win this because he's got such a points lead going in. But I just don't understand the gripe. Is it silly, as he says? It might be. It's
well,
quirky.
Do you not want an opportunity to put some extra cash in your back pocket?
And how else do you do this? Like, how else? It's weighted tremendously for him. It's either you just don't have the playoff, which they used to not, or you create this FedEx Cup, which creates excitement, and it does create excitement. Remember when Tiger won the FedEx, the Tour Championship in Atlanta?
Excitement in sports is entertainment, and it's also more money. And I'm blanking. I'm like, were they just handing out $20 million checks?
No.
So what is he complaining?
And a couple of years ago it was $10 million, and that's my point. I don't get it. I really like Scotty Scheffler, but as I read this, yeah, dude, if your neck flares up at East Lake and you don't play well, you're right. You finish 30th. You do. Just like any other sport, if LeBron gets hurt in the quarterfinals or in the conference semifinals and gets hurt and the Lakers fall out. Right? Just like Giannis Antetokounmpo got hurt and his team didn't get out of the first round of the playoffs. Kind of like that, right? I just don't. I like him a lot. I just think he's just off on this one. Is it quirky? Yeah. Is it weird? Yeah. Is it silly? Okay. Show me a better way. But to JJ's point, there was no playoff before this. There was no you get crowned champion. You had the most in points, and I don't even think there was a bonus. Now there's $20 million to do to win, so you can go out and win another 20. Yeah, you might not. The best during the regular season isn't always the champion in whatever sport. It's the opening drive. Tell me I'm wrong. On 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Show this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, show that you got my attention. See your baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Good stuff this morning on CD Lamb. Report out of Dallas-Fort Worth. Cowboys have an offer on the table. It's $33 million a year, but how much of it is guaranteed over 4 years? Jamar Chase holding out. J.J. McCarthy's injury out for the year. We still haven't got into Colin Kaepernick's offer on the table. Talking about the FedEx Cup, United lose last night. Or they didn't lose last night. They drew last night. Tied last night. 3-3. Sorry. With Tulsa. 3-3. They were down 3-1 and came back. And USA has a new men's national team coach. Then we're in the Scotty Scheffler thing. And he was, said the FedEx Cup is silly. And what if I get hurt? I don't win the FedEx. You're right. You don't win the FedEx Cup if you don't hurt. You don't win the playoffs. Yes. When Patriots lost that one game after winning every other game, they didn't win the championship. Yes. That's what playoffs are. You have a regular season, you have a postseason. Gopher says, FedEx Cup, what are we doing, Jeffy? Why does the FedEx Cup still exist? Remember, the whole reason it was created was to keep Big Cat Tiger Woods playing deeper in the year. PGA ratings took a major hit every year after the major when he went on vacation until January. I don't think we'll ever see Tiger in the Cup again. It's from Gopher. That's right, but golf goes on without Tiger Woods. Golf is continuing to thrive, believe it or not, without Tiger Woods. There's a whole generation of people, let alone golf fans, who have grown up watching and liking golf, dare I say, without a great Tiger Woods. So, yeah, that's why the FedEx Cup. Oh, and by the way, it makes money for everybody, for the tour, for the players, for their networks. So that's why it exists. 505-246-0610. Travis, good morning. You're on the Sports Channel. Hi, Travis.
Good morning, fellas.
What's good?
Happy Friday Eve.
Yeah, I like that. I'm down.
Yeah. Another day of NFL news and the implication to fantasy drafts.
Yeah, buddy.
All across the country are just, huge. I mean, I think the Jamar Chase news, with him missing time, there's certainly a question of whether he's going to fall in drafts. But speaking of fantasy football drafts, I have a question for the great J.J. Buck. By the way, the voice of the New Mexico Women Lobos basketball team.
That's him.
Who, by the way, hosts an incredible podcast, the Three Dudes Fantasy Football Podcast, which, by the way, is absolutely worth a listen to, or rather a watch, if you're on YouTube.
Nice.
So here's the situation. Last year, it's a 10-team PPR league, keeper league. Last year, I won, and my keeper this year is Puka Nacua. I picked him up off of waivers. I drafted Cooper Kupp in the first round last year and ended up winning with both of them at the wide receiver spot. 5 skill positions, you only have to play 1 running back. So there's an incentive in the league to be wide receiver heavy. The question is this. I'm rolling with Puka Nacua again. Given that, are you taking any shares of Cooper Kupp, given Cooper Kupp sounds like all the reports coming out of practice is he's 100% at this point, looking like his rookie form. And obviously Puka with the injury, There's going to be a split there on production. What do you do with that? And then the second question is, in addition to are you buying any shares of Cooper Kupp, when the running back run happens in the league format that I described, do you sit pat or do you jump on the train? Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, man. So first question on Cooper Kupp.
That is a fascinating league to just really be
10 team.
Only have to play one running back. So there's an emphasis on wide receivers. And I think, in that case, I'm going to start second before I go to Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. I think if you're only playing one.
I've never heard of that, by the way.
Which it's just, that's what I love about fantasy football, because there's so many different
formats,
ways to play it and have fun and challenge yourself with the game and your friends. I would jump on that.
You would jump on
I think
what?
that's a format where the running back, whatever round it happens to be in, where people start getting running backs, I think that magnifies trying to find a top 10 talent at that position if you're only playing one of them. And then it gives you the opportunity to find whoever happens to be that out of nowhere diamond in a rough play later on, because you don't have to invest in them early. So yeah, if you're only playing one, try to grab what you think is going to be a top tier every week RB1 in a 10-team league. And when it comes to Cooper Kupp, to me, it's still about value. I don't think that, Cooper Kupp, if you get him, say, in the first or second round,
you're overpaying.
But even if you have Puka Nacua, in your draft format, even if wide receivers are weighted heavily, I would like to have Cooper Kupp as my, ideally in that scenario, wide receiver 3. And kind of wait. But, it seems like wide receivers are going to go.
I think there's enough to go around in that offense.
It's almost like you're handcuffing yourself with Puka, but I think that's okay, because in the Rams, there's 2 targets. It's Puka and it's Cooper Kupp. And Matthew Stafford is going to sustain those guys, but I think it's just about lowering your ceiling with Cooper Kupp coming off of last year. And if he's healthy and you can get him at a better value and kind of have at least 2 guys in front of him that you're leaning on every week, and then be playing Cooper Kupp as your wide receiver 3 or flex, however that plays out, I think the value is there, because there's not Williams is going to get some work out of the backfield, but there's not another threat in that passing tree.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a little bit, but I agree with you. It's the Puka and Koopa show. And I think Cooper Kupp's going to have a comeback year. Since we're on this, and he brought this up, I got great value out of Kyron Williams last year. I stole him off the waiver wire. He was great when he was healthy. They went out and them drafting Blake Corum high, the running back out of Michigan, tells me something. And I'm backing off him. Like, he's going as like the number 3 or 4 running back off the board in some places. I think that's too high.
Yeah, I think that when you're talking about the running backs that are coming off the board, obviously I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to take a little bit of a hit with the hamstring injury over the next couple weeks in terms of draft value. But you're thinking about, all right, who's being drafted? It's Bijan Robinson, it's Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Karen Williams, as you just mentioned.
Breece Hall.
Breece Hall is after Christian McCaffrey, because Chris McCaffrey's pretty much out of this conversation because he's kind of locked in as the number 1 overall pick for a lot of people. But on Williams, if I'm in the second round and there's that run, I still like that value. So if Breece Hall, Taylor, Barkley, Henry go off the board, I'm still on Williams, because Sean McVay has shown you that he's a bell cow guy. Now, you draft from Blake Corum and you get someone else, absolutely, because Karen Williams has missed some time over the last few years. But when he's in, he's all in.
He was terrific. Overall value, Garrett Wilson or Kyron Williams? You're staring at it in the first round, you got to make a pick. Regular league, not that format. Ooh, you were thinking about it.
Yeah, because
I might be right in that spot.
Mm-hmm. Good thought, mentioned any time, and I appreciate Travis laying that out, because.
By the way, what a plug for your
thank
your
you, man.
podcast.
I appreciate that, and the friends are going to be stoked along for this ride. There's always those little things that change it, where it's not as simple as just like, hey, I'm going to look at the rankings for this week. And that's what I'm going to do, because all of our leagues are a little bit different, how you play, the scoring in it. But I do think that Garrett Wilson is finally going to back up the value that people believed he had, because he hasn't had a top 20 finish yet in fantasy football. So it's just good play with Aaron Rodgers getting catchable targets.
Kind of what you want.
Does make him valuable in the scenario that you're talking about.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. When we come back, a little history last night in baseball. A race to a benchmark by a guy who, when it's all said and done, dare I say, might be the greatest of them all. It's early to say, but he's on pace. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This reporting.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
For the game, I think in this instance he's wrong. If you're just joining us, Scotty Scheffler said, the FedEx Cup is silly. That I can have one bad tournament and lose. Yeah, that's kind of how it is. It's kind of how playoffs go, man. You have one bad game in the AFC wildcard game and you're out, or the divisional round, or the AFC championship game and you're out. You don't win the championship, even though you're, 16-1 that year. Yeah, that's how it works. That's how playoffs work. The best throughout the regular season isn't always the champion. Now, often they are. And he's got a weighted advantage as he's earned going into the FedEx Cup playoffs. Is it silly? Yeah, kind of, but give me a better way. And by the way, they didn't used to have this, and now there's an opportunity for him to earn $20 million more. Isn't that what it was? Like a couple of years ago, it was winner or take all, $10 million. Now it's $20 million, I think. I mean, it's crazy. A little history last night in the big leagues. Aaron Judge hit his 300th home run of his career. It's quite the milestone. Quite the milestone when you consider he has done it faster. That means in less games than any other player in the history of Major League Baseball. He did it in his 955th game and his 3,431st at bat. JJ, when it's all said and done, so the fastest to 300, he did it 955 games, which is 122 games if I'm doing my math right, maybe 132 games, quicker than Ralph Kiner. Ryan Howard is next. Juan Gonzalez is after that. How old is he?
Aaron Judge is 32 years old.
Is he too old to be hit the most ever? Did he get too late of a start?
Well, I think when you factor in injuries that are going to happen, if he approaches the 500,
so you think 500 is his number?
Would be still a wow for me.
Because he got a late start, huh? He's a massive human being. 6'7", 282. I mean, that's an edge rusher. That's a defensive tackle. He hits the ball so effortlessly, and by the way, he's a pretty damn good hitter. Like just a good hitter, not just a home run hitter.
You look at his career average is 288 for a guy that spiked at 62 home runs, had a 52 home run season in an era that it's just swing for the fences or strike out. That's pretty special.
He's hitting 333 this year. 110 RBI. It's kind of crazy to me where he is. And I don't think to your point, I think he's too old to get to those magic numbers, right? The career magic numbers. And so what we always, especially in baseball, you judge them by the numbers. Well, Bonds is the greatest, and then Aaron, and then Ruth, and Mays is up there, and Griffey, the 600 Club. My eyes tell me, I don't know if you're going to remember this, and I doubt you will. You know what he reminds me of hitting home runs? He reminds me of the Bash brothers, Canseco and McGuire. The effortlessness that they hit, and every time they came to the plate when they were in their prime, when they were both with the A's, right? So when McGuire and Canseco were coming up together, two gigantic human beings that hit the ball so effortlessly. And I'm not suggesting he's juicing, by the way. That's not hardly what I'm saying. But, Tim, you expect every low and away pitch that he hits the other way to go out of the yard, don't you?
You do get that feel. He's one of those special hitters in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I just I think this is a great feat, and I think it means something that he did what he did. And I mean, the fastest of 300 is something, and by what I tell you, 132 games or whatever the number is. Yeah, that's something, man. By the way, they walked Juan Soto before him to get to him. He said he was fueled by that because Juan Soto's on a bigger rip than he is right now. But he said, "Nah, I'm just hoping it would come in a win." I like his demeanor too. I think he's really good for New York. I don't think New York has eaten him up. I think he stayed relatively humble for a dude who is that big of a superstar. I mean, he's relatively likable, right? Aaron Judge?
Yes, he is.
I think he's good for baseball. How come they don't market him more? Like the game, like baseball itself. I think baseball's doing pretty well this year, and evidently the ratings are pretty good. But I mean, isn't he your perfect guy?
And this is an interesting one.
Yeah.
What are they not doing?
What are they doing? Like, why? I mean, does you and I are baseball fans see him? Does Kiki down the hall or
how would they do that?
Market him?
He's on. He has his commercials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I would get him. I would get.
I think he was in or is going to be in an episode of Paw Patrol.
Okay, that's good. I didn't know that. Yeah, that I didn't know. But I would get him out like on these Good Morning America shows. No, I get it. It's early in the morning. Baseball players don't do mornings, but you could do taped interviews. I'd get him in front of groups. I'd get him on. Maybe not during the politics season. I'd back out. Wait till the election's over.
So we're joined by Aaron Judge.
Yeah, who you vote for?
Just hit 300 home runs. That's cool. But what do you think about this?
Yeah. But on some of these non-sports talk shows, I'm not necessarily saying The View, but I would. I mean, here's a tall, good-looking, well-spoken dude who seems like he's a good dude, relative, clean, plays in the biggest market, plays for the biggest team. It just feels like he's everything that baseball would want to, hey, let's go out and grow this game even more. And I think baseball's done some really good things. And we're going to talk with Ian Desmond coming up here in the next segment, here in about 7 minutes, about baseball and what they're doing, and what they're doing coming in town next week. But I don't know. Doesn't he feel like, goodness gracious, look what we got here. This is perfect.
He does.
What's this? Who does he endorse? What commercials?
I can't think of that off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But I just really, outside of Subway.
Everybody does Subway.
I know.
Does everybody do Subway?
I think every athlete at some point in time does a Subway commercial.
Do you eat Subway?
No.
Can't tell you the last time I ate Subway either. I'm not against Subway.
The Jersey Mike's house?
Well, because they come in, like Jersey Mike's guys come in and bring us food. By the way, when those are pretty good. Yeah. All right. So you got that, which was something. Dodgers got the return of Walker Buehler last night. Walker Buehler pitched last night in Milwaukee. Dodgers lose. They were up 3-0 when he left. They lose 5-4. The bullpen gave it away. But Buehler walked 4, struck out 3, allowed 3 hits and 4 runs, 1 earned over 3 1/3 innings. I'm not as sold. I know you keep saying the Dodgers are going to be okay. The Dodgers are going to be okay, and I think they're going to be okay. I don't know that, but okay for them is winning the World Series, right? Dude, the Diamondbacks are playing quietly. I mean, nobody's talking about them, just like last year. The Padres are ripping. That division, both of those teams are only 2.5 games back to LA.
I guess yes. When you put it in that context,
yeah.
My thing is, I don't care what happens to the Dodgers. I believe they're always going to compete.
Yeah.
And be in the playoffs.
But I think, look, the money they spent, you look at the top of their order, Betts, Ohtani, Freeman, the money they spent on their pitching staff, like, okay isn't winning any more damn division flags. For them, okay is winning the freaking World Series, or at least getting there right now. And I'm not certain, especially with their pitching. Let's talk some baseball when we get back. Former big leaguer, former Rocky, Ranger, National. Ian Desmond is going to be in town next week. Home Run Derby X is on Friday of next week out at Isotopes Park. Hitting balls out of the yards. And I think we determined yesterday everybody loves the long ball. We're going to talk with former big leaguer Ian Desmond next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Murcia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Murcia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Home Run Derby X comes to Albuquerque out at Isotopes Park. You got a chance to be there. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, former big leaguers, Johnny Gomes, Manny Ramirez, Ryan Zimmerman. Ian Desmond will be there. Andrea Howard, softball star. There's so much going on. I think yesterday we determined not only did chicks dig the long ball, everyone digs the long ball, and they will be going out in style. One of the guys that's going to be there is an 11-year veteran in Major League Baseball, played for the Nationals and the Rangers and, of course, with the Rockies, and hit 181 big league home runs. He's going to be in town next week. Ian Desmond is a 3-time Silver Slugger and 2-time All-Star, and he joins us this morning on The Sports Animal. Good morning, Ian. How you living?
Good morning. I'm doing good. Nice intro. I appreciate that.
Appreciate you spending some time with us. This is an event I think people are trying to wrap their minds around, this Home Run Derby. I think everybody's seen guys hit balls out of the yard, but this one with a team aspect and a defense aspect and an altitude aspect to it, why'd you say, yeah, I want to come to Albuquerque and do this?
Honestly, because it's fun, and I enjoy it, and with whether there are fans or not, I might even consider doing it myself. It's one of those things. It's like the fans are getting the opportunity to watch a couple big leaguers hit batting practice in a competition. Like, so say we had we put dinner on the line, and said, hey, whoever hits the most home runs is gonna have to buy that guy dinner. Like, that's kind of the energy that we have in this. It's like it's something that we're all eager to do because we miss it. It's a little camaraderie. It's a little competition. It's the fans that we miss. It's, loud noises, fireworks and flames. I mean, like, once you go from playing in front of, fans, 40,000 or so, going home to coach your kids in Little League, the excitement is not quite the same. So any opportunity you get to get back in it, it's exciting.
Yeah, it's like feeding the addiction almost, it sounds like.
Exactly.
All right, so you brought it up, but I was going to ask you anyway. So you guys, you and Manny and Ryan and Johnny, it's got to be like on the golf course, right? We all have a few bets on the side. There's got to be a few side bets, aren't there?
Well, so last year was my first, Fredericksburg last year was my first time ever doing it, and I was getting my feet wet and didn't really know exactly what to expect. We ended up winning. And, so I'm kind of my reigning champ, so there will be a little bit more smack talk this go-around than there was last. I kind of had to slide in, last time and kind of just be under the radar. But this time we'll be smacking the lips a little bit.
Yeah, as you should be. Ian Desmond, he's going to be in town with Manny Ramirez and Ryan Zimmerman and Johnny Gomes. Home Run Derby X next Friday out at Isotopes Park.
I know, Ian, one of the twists that they put on it, they say there's an opportunity, when you have some of the defenders out there, are you going to give those guys a chance at all to catch into those? I feel like all you guys are just going to be hitting over the fence. How are you going to play any defense?
Well, believe it or not, it happens. And it's a well-designed game. And that's what I think I until you see it, it's going to be hard for you to understand. But it's a well-designed game, and it's exciting. Like, there's defensive plays. Like, that's all I can say, and those outs matter. And if you're going to try to win the competition, you got to strategically plan on, like, where you position your defense. And, obviously we haven't done this event in Albuquerque, and so the ball might be flying, 500 feet. We don't know. But, the defense will come into play because you can only swing for so long without messing up. You watch it in the big league home run derbies, like, sometimes you just lose your rhythm and the ball doesn't go where you want it to, and so anything can happen.
Ian Desmond with us on the opening drive, and there's all kinds of tickets out there. So there's a hell of a deal option for $20. You get a ticket to the Home Run Derby, and you get a ticket to one of the 12 remaining Isotopes games, and you get a ticket to Lowell football's opener the next day. All that for $20. And if you buy a ticket out in the home run zone, which is out on the berm every ticket out there is going to get a free rally towel. And it's just fun. And Ian, we talked to Johnny yesterday, and Ryan's been on with us. It just sounds like this is one of those things you guys are doing because it's a good time. Like you get to go out and just have fun and just rake for a while and enjoy yourself. But I know competition's a deal, and you guys are all competitors.
Everything that you just said, everything that all of it. Yeah, I completely agree. We are out there to have fun, and the byproduct of that is that the fans get to see a side of us that they didn't get to see. And meanwhile, it's in a new environment. It's a new environment for us. I've never, before doing this in Fredericksburg last year, I never hit home runs off a stage with fireworks before in my life. And going back to the $20 for the tickets thing, like if you get one of those berm tickets, like I think last year, and I may be wrong, but I think my team hit like 47 or 50 something home runs or had 50 points or something like that. I think I hit like 26. I think there was another kid on my team, Alex, who hit 20. So between my team, there's 50 balls. If you times that by 3, there's 150 baseballs getting launched out into this berm.
Yeah.
How many people can that berm or how many people can that outfield hold? I mean, you're going to get 3 balls, and that's going to be more than $20 right there.
There should be competition out there. Like, they're betting on who hits home runs, JJ. Who gets the most balls out there? Like, you and your buddy gets to go out there and just have a little bucket and whoever wins. Ian Desmond's with us.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, your kids could be a little collection. You could be hitting them on your field. Take the balls back to the Little League and hit bonus ball home runs.
Especially the orange ones, yeah, because those things fly. I don't care what they tell me, they're not built the same. Like, they fly. They bounce different.
Ian, we're talking about hitting a bunch of home runs, and you did it in your major league career as well. Do you remember the first time you left the yard as a major leaguer?
Oh yeah.
What was that experience like? Especially, I know it came in your debut to be able to do that when you finally got the call.
I mean, it was so fast forward. I mean, if you could imagine, you haven't seen your dog in like a week, and you get home and like you open the door and the dog's tail is wagging like it just won't stop. That's what a big league debut is like. You just get up there and it's just you've been waiting for this your whole life, and like there's so much excitement and energy that everything is just moving like you're inside of a tornado. And maybe there's some superstars out there that everything is calm, cool, and collected. But for me, I swung at that first pitch and was like, holy crap, I've never felt this good in my life. And then ended up going 2 for 4 with the home run. I think a double, a couple RBIs. So yeah, I mean, it was an awesome experience.
How long does it take for a guy to get to the big leagues and the jitters or that excitement or the tail wagging to wear off, and you say, all right, I belong here? Maybe it is that first home run or first base hit. When does it just go, all right, I belong?
Well, I mean, I think it's more of, how long does it take you to learn how to control it? Because it never goes away. I mean, that's the beauty of the game. I mean, it's always, I mean, this is something that in order to get there, you have to be extremely passionate about. So it's always full of that energy. And so I think as you get older and more mature, you learn mechanisms to control that and to like center it. And, obviously the best players in the game, have complete control. And then the rest of us who are just scratching and clawing, we have, some kind of control.
Enough
control, I guess. Yeah.
Enough. Exactly.
And you talk about that. What was it like for you? I'm always fascinated about, in baseball, when you take that step from high school and then you become a professional and you're drafted by the Montreal Expos back in 2004, coming out of Sarasota, Florida. What's that like, essentially just being a kid and then starting your professional baseball career?
I mean, it was a dream come true. I grew up in Sarasota, Florida. We had some spring training facilities here or close by. And so I grew up with major leaguers, doing spring training in town and, seeing them drive their fancy cars and going to restaurants. And, so it was, to me, like I was getting to live out this dream that I had kind of seen unfolding through other people's eyes at a young age.
Do you still have Expos gear?
I've got I maybe have one or two things, but no, I mean, I wish I would have saved it in the time, the Expos, we were owned by Major League Baseball, and it was like, the gear wasn't that quality, so it wasn't really anything worth saving.
It's kind of a cool mark now, right? I know there's a push to bring baseball back to Montreal, and the reason they left was because the old stadium that was built for the '76 Olympics. But I see probably more Expos hats. I don't know, maybe it's just where I'm rolling, but than I have in the last bunch of years. For whatever reason, it's kind of a cool old mark, a retro mark that people are bringing back. So it's kind of cool. Hey, help Rocky fan. They're struggling, and it's been a rough couple of years. How close do you follow that organization, and you see something on the horizon for them to finally click? They're in such a tough division. We were just talking about how the Dodgers are sitting there, and there's just the Diamondbacks and Padres are just 2.5 games back. The Giants are always good. It's a tough spot for Rocky fan right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, they're not the only ones either. This game is hard. I think the line, between, the best teams and everyone else from a distance is like a really thin line, right? But as you continue to walk closer and closer, and your team continues to get better and better, and you get closer to that top team, you see how fat that line is, and you see how many things need to, transpire in order for you to cross that border. And the Rockies, when I was there, we were knocking on that door, and we got close to that line, right? We realized, we're a long way. We were making it to the postseason, but we're a long way from the World Series. And it takes a lot of pieces, and in order to stockpile those pieces and to build, there's a lot of strategy that goes into that. And obviously with the Rockies going through, a GM change a couple of years ago, kind of a personnel change with trading Nolan, DJ, some of the corner pieces of the organization. It's going to take time, so the fortunate thing, I think, is that a lot of people in Colorado, enjoy going to the games. They enjoy supporting their team, through thick and thin, and, they go out there and, enjoy the beautiful scenery of the stadium. So, I don't want to say they don't mind, but it's something that that rebuilding and that restructuring is something that they've kind of seen in the past and they're used to. And, I think they'll stick with them through it.
Yeah, I think you get to a point where, you go from I don't mind to, all right, it's time, and I think that fan base is probably itching for that. All right, you're going to be here on Friday. When you get in town Thursday, I'm going to imagine, and next Friday hitting balls out of the yard. Any one last thing for fans who are coming out that you want to let people know for next Friday for Home Run Derby X?
Yeah, I think just to keep consistency, I would say, I've said this on every single show, and I think this is something that I think is a solid reminder to the fans. Bring a glove. This is a home run competition. It is extremely high paced. It's a shorter fence than we're typically hitting it over, so they're going to go even farther. I would say that if you have a kid and you want to do something fun with your kid on a Friday night, that you won't find much better than this. I mean, bring a glove, enjoy some hot dogs and hamburgers and a pop or whatever, and bring home a couple baseballs, get some autographs. I mean, the last time I did this in Fredericksburg, we stayed and signed autographs for anybody that wanted to get an autograph signed. So, I mean, we were there, accessible, more accessible than you probably are accustomed to. So, I mean, this is just going to be a great night. I would say get a kid, bring a neighbor. If you got a community of kids, a Little League team, what a great way to come out and have some fun. Bring them out, treat it like a practice. But I think this is something that's really cool. I'm just trying to encourage the kids to get out there, bring, that father and son, mom and son, mentor and kid.
Daughters.
Exactly. I mean, but it's just a way to grow the game, and it's intended to do that, and we just want to help grow the game.
Tickets range from $15 up to $30. It's, really affordable. I'm not going to tell you what's affordable for you, but certainly for an event of this magnitude, it's incredibly affordable. There's ticket deals going on. Howl of a deal for $20. You get tickets to the game, to the event on Friday, one other Ice-Dope game, and the Louisville football opener. The first 3,000 fans, 16 or older, get a Manny Ramirez adult jersey. They're doing the giveaway with that for Mariachi's jersey. So go out there and have fun with it. Ian, really appreciate the time. Looking forward to seeing you in town. Safe travels, and we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, sounds great. I can't wait to see you guys out there.
All right, be well. He is Ian Desmond, and he'll be in town with Manny Ramirez and Ryan Zimmerman and Johnny Gomes. And look, this should be fun, man. I mean, I love the approach on this, JJ. This is everything it should be. It's just we're going to go out and have fun and hit balls. It's everything it should be.
I love it.
Yep. Appreciate his time. All right. Hey, go out there in a clean car. Go out there in a on-the-spot detailed car. Get your car detailed as we head now into the fall with all the stuff you got going on. Detail your vehicle and have it done by On-the-Spot Automotive Detailing because they are the best in the city. Awarded best in the city. They come to you. Again, guys, I don't know where they are. I just know when they're at my spot. They know where I am, and that's really all that matters. They come to me, and they'll do it for you at your office, at your home, wherever it's convenient, and detail your vehicle. It's one of your biggest investments. Your car, your truck. Have it detailed. Take care of it. When they're done, it'll look and feel and smell like the day you took it off the lot. And if you're rolling around without window tint, you know how tough that is, how hot it is. They will take care of you there. They're a certified 3M dealer. That means they got the best product on the market. You can talk to them about ceramic tint. That blocks 99% of UV and infrared rays. Your car will look cool, and it'll feel cool. It's the professional tint you need at On-the-Spot Automotive Detailing. It's all right there online. You can book and buy right there at otsdetailing.com. otsdetailing.com, or give them a call at 505-859-2859, 505-859-2859.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the Frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hey, look, it's Dwight Goodman. Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep.
Come on. Appreciate Ian Desmond spending some time with us. Thanks to him. We can get your tickets at abqisotopes.com. Hey, the golf is underway. The first round of the FedEx St. Jude Championship in Tennessee. Did you see that Hideki Matsuyama is not going to have his caddy? You're like, well, whatever. You know why? They were robbed in London coming back from the Olympics. The whole team was robbed during a stopover. So the guy won bronze. They're coming back over to Memphis. Matsuyama said that his wallet was stolen during the incident, but his passport and his medal were not. But his caddy, Shota Hayato, and his coach had their passports and their visas stolen, so they couldn't get out of London. Out of London. So they had to return to Japan. They've asked for expedited documents to return to the U.S., and he had to find another caddy. We found a caddy who's worked with another Japanese golfer, and he said, I'm glad he accepted. And he speaks English, so that's a big plus. How about that, though, dude? Coming back to the Olympics, you're coming back to play, and they got robbed, and
that sucks.
It's got to be the way. Like, you're in a foreign country, and they steal your passport and your visa. All right. I got a lot in the next hour, including a Major League Baseball owner who is being sued for stealing sand from the beach. No, really. That's a story. That's real. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Happy Thursday. Glad you're with us on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Meyer here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home.
The AM with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bob.
They're underway, the FedEx, in the first round, and this is strategic. The golf is doing this before the NFL started. They want to get out of the way. They're playing their playoffs now. Ben Griffin is your early leader, -5. A lot of guys will go out later, including your guy Scotty Scheffler and George Spieth. And Scheffler already out. Billy Horschel's out. Tommy Fleetwood's at -3. So you'll watch this. Scotty Scheffler said it's silly, and what if I get hurt and I don't win? Yeah, man, that's how playoffs are. One of the weird, JJ, it's one of the weirdest takes from one of the most kind of, I don't know, it seems kind of one of the more level guys, that a guy who shows no emotion, a guy who's super never controversial until he gets arrested. He comes back, he comes out of jail and shoots like what did he shoot, a 68 that day at the PGA?
Pretty good.
Yeah. It was the next day that kind of got to him. You knew that would happen too. Once he slept on it and laid in bed and like, dude, I was in jail this morning. I was hanging out next to that dude and that dude and that dude. And my breakfast was on some metal plate. Yeah, that's how it is. All right, we've been talking about a lot of things and we're open for you today. 505-246-0610. Aaron Judge hit his 300th home run last night, becoming the youngest player, or the quickest player, not the youngest, the quickest to ever hit that plateau. J.J. McCarthy, the Vikings rookie quarterback, had the surgery yesterday on the knee. It will cost him the season. And there's a report in the Fort Worth Star-Telegram that says the Cowboys have an offer on the table to CeeDee Lamb that averages out to $33 million a year. It does not talk about how much guaranteed money there is or what a signing bonus would be. But it's out there, and I'm wondering how you feel. Does it make you feel any differently about the whole process that the Cowboys do have something on the table? Is it now do you kind of look at CD and go, what are you doing, without knowing the facts? And all we know is one number. And when it comes down to these deals, it's not really about one number, or at least not about that one number, right? It might be about one number, but not that one.
Yes, not that one specifically.
Yeah. Jamar Chase is holding out at Bengals camp. He's scheduled to just make over $1 million this year. Now, was there money up front? There was. It was a rookie contract. But he's holding out. It's his fourth year of his 5-year rookie deal. They've already extended him for the next year, $21 million. But he wants a new deal and wants to be paid where he believes he should be paid. So we can get into that. Matthew Stafford tightness. This concerns me, dude.
Hammies.
I'm just going to tell you the Matthew Stafford story concerns me. He left practice yesterday for the Rams with a hamstring issue, and Jimmy Garoppolo suspended for the first 4 games, 6 games?
I believe it's 2.
All right, he's their backup, and I watched Stetson Bennett I watched too much damn Cowboys and Rams the other day.
No, you didn't.
No, I did.
You're sitting there going, all right, who's the next Puka Nacua? I got it.
No, I was listening to Andrew Whitworth on the broadcast trying to tell me that.
Come on, Andrew, tell me something.
No, tell me
Give
something.
me something.
I know, give me another nugget because now he's my keeper. I watched Stetson Bennett, and I will give him that final drive. And if you want to tell me he learned and he's going to look great this week, maybe I'll feel a little bit better. But as a backup quarterback, that dude threw 4 interceptions, and they were bad, dude. They were bad interceptions. He doesn't see the underneath defender. They were just not NFL quarterback throws.
Well, he is pretty much a rookie quarterback, being away from the team as much as he was last season. He's QB3 for a reason.
Yeah, but he may have to be QB2 in week 1 and 2, and he may have to be QB1 if Stafford's hurt.
He won't be QB1 to start the season. He won't. Like, I don't buy that at all.
If Stafford's hurt, they're going to find someone else or what?
This is not Stafford. Matthew Stafford's not a running back. hamstring tightness is not going to prevent him from playing week 1 of the regular season.
All right. This is just overemphasizing some damn injury. All right. I mean, look, all I know is, by the way, the last drive, he looked nice. He looked really nice. And the throw that he made on 4th down to win the game, again, granted, a preseason game that meant nothing. It was a nice throw. He got out of the pocket, looked composed, threw across his body, boom, on target, winner. Cowboys don't get dinner. I got it. But the 4 before that? What? Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How you living, Rudy?
I'm doing great. Hey, I wanted to thank you, Jeff, for having that gentleman on yesterday that's going to run the 100 miles.
Oh, yeah, that guy's a stud.
Unbelievable. So I went to their website, 100 Friends, 100 miles.
Yeah.
And I contributed. I figured it's worth $1 a mile.
No, that was nice of you.
So that's what I did.
Yeah,
well,
thank you.
I'm encouraging everybody to do that. Special Olympics has kind of a special place for me. And getting to know Danny's kid, Abby,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing how he cared about and he said something that stuck with me since then. They have different abilities, not disabilities, different abilities. And that's true. And so anything I can do to support Special Olympics, I'm on board. And anybody that cares enough about that organization to go out and sacrifice 100 miles of running. I used to do half marathons, so that's 12.6 miles or whatever, and train for that. And I used to think, man, I really accomplished something. I can't imagine having to go, what is that, 10 times more?
All I know is the dude's going for 30 hours.
30 hours of running.
And not just running up and down that elevation, dude. Like running. It's not just running.
No, that's right.
Yeah,
it's running up and down hills, like you said, the equivalent of, and I don't know if you ever did the Lalouse Trail, even just to hike it.
I have.
Yeah. That's that's quite a task. And so I think, we need to reward that guy. So I encourage people, if you get a chance, go to 100 Friends, 100 miles, and see if you can make a donation and make a difference.
No, I appreciate that.
People that need it.
Thanks, man.
That's my thing for today.
Thank you.
I feel real good about doing that, and I hope other people will feel good when they do it too.
Yeah, please do. Thanks, Rudy. The gentleman's name is Adam Trubo, and he was with us honestly, I got a text last night. Somebody listened to it on the podcast. They went to our website, sportsanimaleabq.com, and called it up and said, wow, that was really cool. And this is a fundraiser for Special Olympics New Mexico. So the money's going to go to Special Olympics New Mexico. They're hoping to raise $50,000. And it's up in Colorado. They're going up, and the elevation is ridiculous. And I mean, just everything about it is crazy. But the 100 miles, running 100 miles, period. Run 100 miles in run 100 miles at one fell swoop. In 30 hours, at the elevation at which they're running and the conditions in which they're running, it's going to turn from day to night. You're going to get weather, whatever you're going to get. And you can go and sponsor, like Rudy said, $1 a mile. I'm in, dude, whatever you do. I think it's really cool. And if you can, it's money that's going to go to Special Olympics New Mexico. The website is 100friends100miles.com. And you look at it there. JG, that was one of the coolest, and I didn't know where that was going to go yesterday when we started that up. That was, and Adrian's got it up for you right there on the stream if you're watching. I didn't know where that was going to go yesterday. That was one of the most pleasant surprises that I've had on this show in a long time.
It's fascinating for just talking about someone that runs like that, and then anytime you're able to do Special Olympics or anything for a good cause. Like, I'm not going to say something negative about that. It's the beauty of the opening drive in the Sports Animal, what you can bring to the community.
Yeah. This also hit this morning. U.S. men's national team is hiring Mauricio Pochettino to be the head coach of the U.S. national team. 52 years old, most recently was the head coach of Chelsea, formerly of Tottenham, PSG. He'll succeed Greg Berhalter, who was fired after the Copa America. I don't know, give me a word there. I don't want to say disaster, but I mean, they didn't make it out of group.
Failure.
All right, that's fair. I'll go with that one. And again, for people who are just joining us, put this one into perspective a little bit. Mauricio Pochettino, who is a known name globally in the sport of soccer or football, and comes in to coach a U.S. national team that is less than 2 years away from hosting the World Cup.
So this is one of the things that for the U.S. they needed to win the press conference and have at least a known commodity willing to accept the job. And they have that with Pochettino amongst soccer fans. He's a known guy that's been at some of the biggest clubs around the world. And in international soccer, even a lot of the good coaches do tend to bounce around a lot at that level. So to get him to agree to their job, it shows that there is still some pull. There is pull and some status with the U.S. national team. I think some of it too is just for a coach like Pochettino to prove that, I can be the reason this team is successful. And it's an exciting opportunity because you look at North America hosting the 2026 World Cup, the marquee games. If you advance in that tournament, they're going to be played right here in the United States. And for the U.S., you got a guy with international experience, marquee name. The players are going to be excited, and now it's what can you do to put this team in position to get out of the group stage and just have a chance to play meaningful games and capture a country that will be paying attention. And if this team somehow wins a knockout stage game, and I don't know if they're going to be, I'm not talking like semifinals, but if you get into the quarterfinals of the World Cup in the United States,
so what's success for that in the World Cup, hosting the World Cup next 2 years?
I want them to win a knockout stage game. So get out of the group, win one in advance.
So they've got to win at least 2, most likely then in their group stage. We don't know what that against whom that's going to be, right? We have no idea.
No, but
the draw hasn't come out yet.
That to me then would be a successful step and be able to capture the country for that moment in that summer and the buzz that will be there for the World Cup, because it will be a awesome summer across the United States when those games are played.
Yeah, and it's going to be all across North America. It's going to be in Canada. It's going to be Mexico. It's going to be, multiple places. All right, 505-246-0610. When we come back, the headline is bonkers. The story is bizarre and weird, but it's getting a ton of attention. The guy owns a Major League Baseball team in Milwaukee. He is being sued for stealing. JJ, well, what do you always think? Like, there's more. We're never going to run out of water in the ocean, and you'll never run out of sand on the beach, right? Dude is accused and being sued for stealing sand from the beach in California. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years.
Winners last night. 4-1 against Washington. Actually, how they go today? Red Sox in for 4. Then they'll go back east. The Red Sox are interesting to me. Labor Day weekend, Orioles will be in. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. All right. JJ, you own a big league baseball team. It's in Milwaukee, but of course, with all those millions of dollars, you want beachfront property in Malibu because that's where everybody is. His name is Mark Attanasio. He is the owner of the Brewers. JJ, dude is named in a lawsuit accused of stealing sand. Him and a contracting company allegedly dug up way too much large amounts of sand from a Malibu beach to use in their ongoing construction project at his beachfront property. It was filed in LA County last week against his construction company. Bloomberg first reported this. So the suit was filed by his neighbor, who is the heir and the chairman of global investment firm based in New York City. Look, there's a lot of very, very rich people who are his neighbors. A lot of big people have beachfront property in Malibu. The attorneys accuse this guy and his construction team for violating environmental law by using excavators in tidal zones, leaking oil, and exposing local marine life to hazardous chemicals. That's a lot, dude. And then you see the pictures of these of this major, and how else are they going to do it, I guess? I don't even know how they got it down there. Like this major construction equipment on the beach and in the water, like the cranes. They say they got photographic proof of the violations, excavators operating in tidal zones, and They're showing me a picture of an excavator basically on the beach in the water. I mean, that would be a tidal zone. The Times, the Los Angeles Times, says that he bought this home for $23 million in 2007. Then he bought the empty lot next to it because he didn't want neighbors for $6.6 million. It's pretty decent geld. Look, I mean, you got laws, you got environmental laws. I'm looking at the property, like everything's right next to each other. But I guess violent storms over the years have led to sand depletion. And in 2015, people who live in that area, Dustin Hoffman, Ray Romano, Pierce Brosnan, they committed to a $31 million restoration project to bolster the beach's sand. And this guy's going against the club out there. Oh, man, it's just stuff you thought you never hear. Let me hear it. You're sitting in your creative writing class. Let me think of something. Baseball owner in Milwaukee, house in Malibu, stealing sand. Like, sometimes life is just way crazier than art. You know what I mean?
Yes, it can be.
I saw that yesterday, and I don't even understand. I don't understand. All right, football stuff for you. Cowboys signed Carl Lawson. Defensive end, used to be with the Jets. Lawson is another addition, the second basically in the last couple of days on the defensive line. They traded with the Giants. They got a defensive tackle named Jordan Phillips. That was on yesterday. He's 29 years old. He had a 3-year, $45 million contract in free agency with the Jets, but I mean, he didn't perform there. He played only 23 games in 3 seasons. He had a ruptured Achilles. I just feel like they're throwing darts right now, trying to find something that hits defensively. Don't you feel that way?
They need some depth. That's what they're doing, because they have DeMarcus Lawrence, Michael Parsons. Like, you're locked in with your starters. And sorry, I'm blanking on the player that they lost right at the start of training camp.
Yep.
The edge rusher. So it's kind of what you're looking at this point in time. You know, veteran guys that haven't signed anywhere. Can you bring them in and get a little something out of them?
Sam Williams
in the rotation. Thank you. And for Dallas, as much as we're caught up on CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, I think the biggest thing to keep them competitive going to be is that defense can keep creating turnovers.
Yeah, I think, and they got to keep throwing darts, because I agree with you that they need they need help. How much do you think for the Falcons? And I think this is quiet, but it could be good. I feel like the Falcons are in now mode, or at least they think they're in now mode. So they traded a 3rd-round pick to the Patriots yesterday for Matthew Judon, who's a linebacker. I think Matthew Judon's good. I don't know how much a difference it makes, but he's a 4-time Pro Bowler who I think still has some juice left in him. Are the Falcons, and I know there's some people talking about them, are they the Cinderella in the NFC? Are they the team that maybe can make a run that nobody's really talking about? Because I know everybody likes their roster, and you feel like they added a veteran quarterback in Kirk Cousins that's going to get things done. They've got 2 good receivers. They got a good running back. They just shored up their defense yesterday. They brought in a veteran quarterback. Are they the team? Because I saw that move yesterday, and all right. Like I feel that they think that they're in now mode.
Well, you don't give Kirk Cousins
right
$90 million guaranteed coming off an Achilles if you don't believe that.
Right. No, that's correct.
So the answer to the question is yes. I think people expect them to be competitive, and are they going to take that step into NFC contender? With Kirk Cousins coming in, that guaranteed money, making a trade like this for a 32-year-old edge rusher, which is, for them, I think it's going to be that same mindset of Kirk Cousins. Like, all right, we'll give this veteran a bump in his salary for the next 2 years. When you look at the NFC, which all of a sudden, just in very quick amount of time, became a lot more interesting than it's been in the last few
100%.
years. If Kirk Cousins is healthy and playing at a Kirk Cousins level, to me, they should be right there with the Green Bay Packers, nipping at the heels of the teams that we expect to be an NFC championship.
Let me give you another
right now,
reason why they're going to be that.
I think San Francisco, Detroit, and then Philadelphia bounce back.
I think you're right. Look, I look at their schedule. They get a couple tests early, Pittsburgh, and then they get Philadelphia and Kansas City. But then they go New Orleans, Tampa, Carolina, Seattle, Tampa, Dallas, New Orleans, Denver, Chargers, Minnesota, Raiders, Giants. Like, where aren't they going to be favored? It's not like they got, I mean, honestly, outside, and their division is a bunch of them, right? Tampa Bay, Carolina, New Orleans. So they get Philly and Kansas City in weeks 2 and 3. Show me where else they won't be favored as of right now. The whole rest of the way down the schedule. That's why I think they contend. Not only do I think they can win that division, you start getting on a roll, you start getting home games, you start believing. Tell me where you see roadblocks after week 3.
Things are clicking. Not many.
Now, they could stink, and Tampa Bay could be really good. And look, everything could change, and we'll watch how teams are. But, I mean, I'm looking, the teams you tell me are supposed to be the worst teams in the league are Denver and Minnesota. They got them. The Giants aren't supposed to be very good. And Carolina, they get them twice. Dallas, okay. You get them at home. Chargers? Raiders? I love their schedule. I mean, love it. But they're a team that I look at and, damn, as I'm going through, kind of want to, I'm going through a fantasy draft. I want to go, all right. I mean, I think I like Drake London, and people are like Tyler Algier is way higher on fantasy charts than I thought he would be. I mean, maybe even this is where Darnell Mooney finds his way. He had a minute where I thought he was going to be good with the Bears. Maybe now this is where he finds his way. Is this the year Kyle Pitts finally becomes what he was supposed to be?
That's the giant question.
That's one of them.
Kyle Pitts is healthy.
Yeah, that's what everybody keeps telling me.
Drake London, Kyle Pitts.
Drake London's
top 2
good,
targets with Bijan Robinson, and then you're filling in with Darnell Mooney, whoever it may be. That's a good offense.
I think Drake London's good. He just had nobody throwing to him. They didn't throw the ball. Who was their guy last year? Desmond Ridder? I mean, they just didn't throw it. Now you brought Kirk Cousins in and paid him to throw the football. I don't know, man. And I look at that schedule, and there's just not a lot of roadblocks. So, all right, 505-246-0610. Again, if you want to come in today, 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Yesterday, we talked about Colin Kaepernick wanted back in, and there would be one place that maybe he can get back into the NFL. Well, there's an offer on the table for Colin Kaepernick. Explain to you what it is and from whom, and should he take it. Hey, if you've been the victim of crime, home or business, if you've been broken into, you know way too well. It takes too long for police to respond. They just don't have enough officers to cover all the calls that they get. But when it's you and it's your home and it's your business, you need a quicker response. How does 7 minutes or less sound? It's normally the response time for customers of International Protective Service. IPS has officers strategically placed around Albuquerque, now in Santa Fe. They react quickly, and many times they catch criminals in the act. They detain them, and the police come and pick them up. IPS also provides standing guards if you need eyes on your property around the clock, and they will install alarms and camera systems. They got the state-of-the-art facility to monitor those cameras 24/7. It raises the level of your security around your home or business. Look, I've trusted them for years. They give my family peace of mind. My neighbors now use them. So who's watching your home when you're gone? Don't let it be the bad guys. A quick response to your alarm or standing guards at your business, that's what IPS does, and you sleep better at night. You can't prevent all the crime, but if you have no protection, you are more likely to be victimized. The number is 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors.
36 years old, hadn't played in 7 years. But if there was anybody, any situation in which he would get an opportunity, it would be the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh, because Jim Harbaugh was his coach when he was with the 49ers. They went to the Super Bowl, and Harbaugh's now back with the Chargers, and Harbaugh doesn't seem to care what anybody thinks. And Harbaugh's the guy who gave him the open workout at the University of Michigan a couple of years ago. And Harbaugh doesn't care about putting his finger in the air and telling people what, go bleep yourself. And so if there was a chance, we figured this would be the only spot, period, right?
Yes.
Although both of us, I think we agree, right? He's not going to play.
No, I don't believe that at all.
All right. Jim Harbaugh has offered Colin Kaepernick an opportunity. Harbaugh was talking to USA Today Sports. He said he did reach out to Colin Kaepernick earlier this year about joining the Chargers. However, not as a quarterback, but as a member of the coaching staff. There's been no movement on this. The quote from Harbaugh is, we talked a little bit about it. He's considering it. He was out of the country. He said he was going to get back to me. We haven't reconnected since then. That was early in the year. That was his quote. Harbaugh said Kaepernick was one of his favorite players he ever coached. And that if he were to one day coach football with Kaepernick, he'd be great at it. Quote, if that was ever the path he was to take, I think he'd be tremendous. He'd be a tremendous coach. I think if that's the path he chose. End quote. Doesn't sound like that would be waving the flag for Colin, right?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know Colin. No, obviously I spent some time with him back in the day, but from everything we hear, it doesn't sound like he's ready to give up on that hope.
I don't know how much I believe there's hope in it. Like, I'm sure he wants to play football and be a quarterback, but it never felt like he wanted to do what it takes, and it wasn't going to be fair for him to get that opportunity. He wasn't going to be giving a guaranteed roster spot or guaranteed money if he ever wanted a chance to come back and play football again, and he never took those steps.
Here's the deal. And if Colin was going to get his chance, he would have. There would have been something Canadian League. There would have been something in the UFL or USFL or XFL or all the leagues that have been morphed into that. Now, I know he feels that he's better than that and doesn't have to go that route, but I firmly believe that if he was offered an opportunity to prove that he could still play, because many, many guys are signing from the former XFL and USFL, now UFL, who are getting opportunities to play in the National Football League, right? And if he would go there and whoever it is, whether it's the Memphis River Boats or whatever the teams are called, whoever would have given him an opportunity, they would take the heat. All your World News Tonight stories can go out and deal with those teams. And then if he can play, if he can help your team, you'd have seen it. Then you can invite him to camp, take the one day of the hit, and move on. Right? If he was going to get a chance, don't you firmly believe he would have gotten a chance somewhere by now with all the leagues that are out there?
I agree with that. That's why I don't think he ever wanted to do what it would take, because they were not going to be fair to Colin Kaepernick. People don't think he could play anyway. I also don't think that you, in a league that's starving to find guys that can play quarterback, just ultimately dismiss someone that took a team to the Super Bowl. That doesn't guarantee you anything. Like Nick Foles, he won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And he was never able to really bounce back and find his footing in the league. But if Colin Kaepernick wanted to play football, he would have done what was needed. It's everything he laid out. Take any opportunity that was there, grind, maybe fail a little bit, but then come back. He never did that.
So here's an opportunity to get back into football. And again, I don't know what Colin wants to do. I don't know where Colin is mindset-wise. I don't know if Colin, if he wants to use it as a platform for a message. I don't know. I honestly don't. But it feels like Jim Harbaugh is throwing this guy a line that can be a career changer and potential life changer. Doesn't it feel that way? Like if he got into coaching and I'll bet he would be good at it. Look, I don't know. I haven't talked to Colin Kaepernick in 7, 8, 9, so probably since 2009. Colin played in our game in 2007. I would see him the next bunch of years. Had some really good conversations. I always found Colin Kaepernick to be a tremendous, cordial, thoughtful, kind young man. I really liked Colin. Now, whatever happened afterwards politically and football-wise and all that, I haven't talked to him any of that. He doesn't know me. But the young man I knew personal-wise had the personality to be a coach. Like that would work. I don't know who he is today. Jim Harbaugh knows him a hell of a lot better. JJ, here's an opportunity. It feels like if you really want to get back in, and I know it's sucking it up and saying, okay, I'm not playing again. But if you want to be part of it and make a difference, here's an opportunity. And I don't know that he's ever going to get that opportunity from anybody else.
This would be a good way to get in, be back in an NFL franchise, work with the team, know that a head coach is all 100% on board with you.
Right. I mean, how would the NFL fan react to him being in the league as a coach? There would be that faction that would still lose their mind, right?
Yeah, the faction that thought you stopped watching football.
Yeah, those people who left
why would there even be a reaction,
Yeah,
right? I thought you walked away from the game and hated everything about it.
Yeah, those are the ones who
there
left.
shouldn't be a reaction.
Yeah, you left a long time ago, so you don't matter. Although you'll pipe in. That's why I stopped watching football.
Because you probably never left.
You and your 4 fantasy football teams. and your gambling addiction. That's probably all right. Yeah. It just feels like, to me, and again, where I'm sitting, and I don't know the young man, but it feels like, to me, here's an opportunity to get back in. Lars has already given you a reason not to go to the Lobo game. It's going to be hot, Hefe. Goofy-looking weather dudes are predicting near-record temps post time. To me, it's a test to see if Lobo fans will show up to your game if it's moved to June. Because we're moving the bowl game to June. Lars, there's no test on that. So Lars is telling you it's going to be too hot next Saturday to go to a football game. See, it's already too hot, too cold, too Saturday. He sent me the 97 degrees is your prediction for Saturday the 24th. Yeah, it's going to be warm, boys and girls. It's going to be warm. At least you're not playing. You're going to be sitting there with a cold drink in your hand. Those guys are going to be out there playing with pads on. Wrap it up when we come back. Everything you got to know as you go through your Thursday. Appreciate you being with us. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready.
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
App Store. Just search KNML.
All right, what everybody going to be talking about as you go through your whatever day it is today. It's I know it's Thursday. U.S. men's national soccer team has a new head coach. Mauricio Pochettino is going to be the guy. Most recently coached at Chelsea, been at Tottenham, PSG. He'll succeed Greg Berhalter as the head coach of the men's national team. Berhalter was relieved of his duties after the early exit in Copa America. Aaron Judge hit his 300th home run of his career last night for the Yankees. He is the fastest to ever get to 300. It means the least amount of at-bats. There's a story in the Fort Worth Star-Telegram that people are going to be telling you about, that the Cowboys have offered CeeDee Lamb a deal that's 4 years worth an average of $33 million a year. Now, the details are not in it. The construction of that contract, meaning how many dollars are guaranteed, is not in it, and that's kind of the holdout right now. Jamar Chase is holding out in camp for the Bengals. Scotty Scheffler today said, or maybe yesterday, that he thinks the FedEx Cup playoff is silly. The FedEx Cup playoff is underway. What if I get hurt and then I don't win the cup? That's right. Yeah, that's how that works. That's how playoffs work. It's a season long, and not everybody qualifies. You qualify for playoffs. That's what these are. And then you have to win in the playoffs, and not everybody who's the best during the regular season is the champion when it's all said and done. It doesn't have to give back any of all the millions of dollars he's earned. But millions of dollars. Yeah. And then there's this, and I'd not seen this in a long time. JJ, there's a Major League Baseball team who has said they are dropping season ticket prices for next year. It's the last time you saw. Who said inflation's hitting everything? They're going to drop their season tickets by an average of 10%. You know why? Because they're brutal. They're the Chicago White Sox. It's a great move.
But White Sox.
It's a great move.
Dropping prices.
Everybody's up in prices. They're 29 and 93. We're getting close, JJ. They just got to win or lose 7 in a row. So they're dropping ticket prices 10% next year. They're in the midst of one of the worst seasons baseball has ever seen. Ever. Quote, this is Brooks Boyer, their vice president, senior vice president. We understand where all the ticket prices are, whether it's season ticket prices, secondary market. After looking at that, understanding where we are organizationally, we thought it was important that it's something we do for our season ticket holders who have been very loyal to us, end quote. Meaning they just sat through the crap that we put out on the field. We're going to charge them 10% less next year. I commend that. I commend that. I mean, otherwise you're going to have to start paying them to come to the games. All right, ESPN put out this just cleared a short while ago. You know, they put out their best players in the NFL. I don't know how they do this. And it's got to be so completely arbitrary. And I don't even see a byline on the story, so I don't know who did it. Okay, so it's a panel of their experts. David Hale, Adam Rittenberg, Bill Conley, Chris Lowe, Paolo Uggetti. So they went through 4 rounds of voting. And they selected the top 100 players in college football. And of course, it's all powers, guys. And the number 1 player is James Pierce, the junior defensive tackle at Tennessee. Mason Graham, a defensive tackle at Michigan, is number 2. And Travis Hunter, the stud two-way player at Colorado, is number 3. Will Johnson of Michigan is 4. I did a quick run through it, JJ. I found 3 Mountain West players on the list of best college players in football. Would you even start to guess? You would know the highest of them, wouldn't you? Mountain West football players on this list for this year? He's not 21 years old yet and had to hold his own damn media days.
Oh, Ashton Genty.
Yeah, Ashton Genty, the running back at Boise State, is the highest ranked Mountain West player. He actually comes in at 25, which I think is pretty admirable. He was led FBS running backs in missed tackles and receiving yards. Trailed only Ollie Gordon of Oklahoma State in total yards from scrimmage last year. He's a stud. And then the other two are receivers. And so that should give it away to you, I think.
Does one of them play for Utah State?
No.
Ooh.
Although that's a really good
Horton,
thought.
Troy Horton.
Troy
Colorado
Horton.
State.
So
Got
Troy
that,
Horton's the next guy on the list. Number 55 on the list. Colorado State's had some stud receivers. I mean, some Rashad Higgins and Michael Gallup. Troy Horton might be the best of all of them. He's really good for them. He had 167 balls in the last 2 seasons for 16 touchdowns and over 130 yards in 7 of his past 16 games. That's insane. So he's really good. And the other one is
Ricky Wright?
Yeah, it is Ricky White. Yeah. Ricky White from UNLV came in at number 79. So there's good receivers in this league, and he's an all-around guy, and they're really good. He transferred from Michigan State, and he ranked 3rd nationally in receiving yards last year and was over 140 yards 6 games last year receiving. Ricky, I remember watching him eat up the Lobos last year. Just ate their lunch. Other guys that you might be interested in, Shedeur Sanders came in. Any idea? Are you looking at it?
No.
Okay. Any idea where Shedeur would have been on this list?
So
it's the best players in college football. So their criteria is like, we're just here's our best players.
Are you saying he's not on the list?
He is on the list.
Okay.
He is on the list.
Where would he be?
Yeah.
Is he 18?
24. Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah. He may be the first quarterback off the board. He may be the first player off the board next year. But I thought he would be higher. Conference USA, where the Aggies play, represented by 2 players. One of them you'll know. One of them, I think you'll know. The other one you won't. Any idea their best player in that league? According to this, he's their 2nd best player. Caden Salter, the quarterback at Liberty, is back. And he's the guy who put up all those numbers last year. I mean, he was by far the most effective statistic-wise group of 5 quarterback last year. QBR was 83.7, ninth in the nation. He was really, really good. He's fit for what they do. So he was number 71. And then this one I didn't know about. And this guy plays for Rich Rod. And he's an offensive lineman, 54th. His name is Clay Webb, and a big former 5-star Georgia signee that's in Conference USA. And he landed at Jacksonville State a couple of years ago, and he's been really good. And so he'll be a pro. But Rich Rod seems to find him too. So it's just another one of those lists, man. And I'm not a big list radio guy, but when these come out, everybody talks about them and argues about them and has this thing.
Honest, there's not going to be a lot of people that can argue about this list because the depth of college football player knowledge doesn't go that far. But what I like about something like this, it lets you know who to watch. It lets you know
that's right.
Names that should be buzzing.
All right, so here's one that you're going to see in week 2 for the Lobos, or week 1 because it's 0 week, but Arizona. His name is Tatoria McMillan, a wide receiver. He is their 13th ranked player on this list. Probably going to be a first-round draft pick and a candidate to win the Biletnikoff Award for the best receiver in the nation. Sophomore year, he was really good, and now that Jacob Cowing's gone, he will be the NFL guy. I mean, just a central piece of what they do. So he'll probably get double-teamed, but you got a guy that last year, 90 receptions, over 1,400 yards and 8 touchdowns, and that's with Jacob Cowing there, right? Being the main guy, and he's a guy that was drafted into the NFL. So just some guys that you're going to see. There's Auburn players on here, obviously, and you're going to see Auburn in week your 3rd game. But yeah, it's just an interesting list to just go through. I was looking for guys that bounced off, and I probably missed a few that transferred out of the Mountain West. The Dylan Gabriel thing is really interesting to me, the quarterback at Oregon, because they're ranked 3rd in the country. And here's a guy coming in to replace Bo Nix. And that's probably going to be a program where, all right, give me your 4th or 5th year guy and just meet.
That's the way it feels. But to your point, and he has a chance to become the all-time leading passer in college football this year. He's just taking advantage of extra years of eligibility, graduate transfer, and now sent up Oregon, leading them in the Big Ten.
Yep. 94 to Cairo Davis, a cornerback from Arizona that you'll see. This one was interesting to me too, and I really love this story. You know who Miller Moss is?
It's the USC?
Yeah, the quarterback from USC who came out of nowhere when Caleb Williams didn't play in the bowl game and threw for 5 touchdowns in the Holiday Bowl and stole bowl season. Well, Pop-Tart stole bowl season, but as a player, he stole bowl season. Thanks to Ian Desmond for being with us today, the former big leaguer.
You ever thought about Silva Pierce stealing bowl season?
I have. You like that?
Challenge Pop-Tart. Let's do it.
All right. Being chased around by like a honey squirter. Be careful. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men Ons here at 4. Ice Strips and Round Rock after that. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio. Starting at 7 a.m., Ryan Zimmerman and Nick Nee will be with us tomorrow. Adrian, great work on your side. Big day for you.
Another huge day.
Enjoy it. All right. Be good to each other, boys and girls. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, and we shall smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.